Hi, welcome to the Booking Times demonstration of massage therapy and other affiliated services. As you can see from our demo system here, this is currently set up on a subdomain of Booking Times. However, primarily, the vast majority of our customers will use this on their own domain. So mymassage.com.au, mymassage.com, so on and so forth. Included with any Booking Times subscription, which is monthly or can be paid annually, you also receive your info at yourdomain.com email address and associated emails as needed that can be tied directly to your account for all of your reminders to be fully branded. Now you'll notice that our website is mobily responsive. We have a series of website templates that can be selected, or if you prefer, you can also have a custom website built with us, but we have a drag and drop builder. So if you'd like to build your own system, you absolutely can, and I will show you that in just a minute. You'll notice that we do have this somewhat proprietary mobile menu option that displays from any cell phone, which makes it very easy for your customers to navigate into and out of all of your services. Now, a lot of people have a hesitation of moving from their current content management systems, such as WordPress or Shopify, simply because they already have a website built. However, our team can handle the migration of your system and any of your design elements to the BookingTimes system and platform. The benefits of having full integration include the ability for people to purchase products directly from your system, even gift them to somebody else, and have a full account and record of where that happened without any manual movement on your own part for making those vouchers available through your booking system, which makes things a lot cleaner and also allows for us to give you a full reporting on what's going on with your business, which we will show you here. Once we log in as an admin, you can either select the bookings page as your primary destination when you log in, or the dashboard. The dashboard is going to give you a 30,000-foot view of what's going on in your company. We'll start from the left-hand side and kind of work our way over. What's new is simply any updates that have taken place inside of the BookingTimes system, and I strongly recommend that you check in with those. It will change colors when there is new information that you haven't seen yet, so it's a good thing to pay attention to because there may very well be a new functionality that will help you in some way. Training progress is actually permission based. So depending on what permissions you have granted your employees, their training will be different than yours. However, you will find step-by-step tutorials and instructions on doing the primary and preliminary things here for anyone to be able to view. And you also have an abundance of articles that are found here. Go back to our dashboard here, you'll find this notices option. This will display if you have more than one employee or active calendar inside of your system, and it allows for you to communicate globally throughout your team by simply making changes here to your notices. This will go out on the instructor's run sheet, so whether or not your instructors or therapists or any employees log in, they will get this on their schedule, which they can choose to receive the night before or the day of. It'll tell them what they're doing, who they're doing it for, and potentially what room that could be in if that's a selection that you have made. You'll find your total revenue. You can look at this. This is really just an overview of what's happening, and you can look for trend lines. Clearly, this demo system is lacking in ultimate revenue because it's completely fake. However, your trend lines will be different and obviously much higher, but you are able to track your booking activity. Each of these will take you to the reports page, which will give you a much more in-depth view of what's going on inside of the company and will give you breakdowns. So for instance, if you have more than one location, you'll be able to run your revenue reports to see which location is doing the best, or your sales reports to find out which one of your team members is selling the most services. The messages tab allows for you to not only send, but receive text messages from the system. So if you send a reminder text message and somebody responds rather than confirming with the link that is provided, and for whatever reason they come up with, that information will show up here rather than going off into the abyss. You can also forward these text messages on to let your other therapists know if it is their client that they will not be attending. Leads are people who come to your website, they create an account or add something to their cart, but they don't convert all of the way. These leads will convert at a very high rate, and it's another benefit of having an integrated system to make sure that you're not only tracking your sales and your bookings, but also your lead generation campaigns. Action requireds are your basic sticky notes. So this is going to be something that needs to transpire. They're manually created, but they can also be assigned to individuals with an action due date tied to them. They're color coordinated based on urgency, and the most urgent sticky note will show up at the top. If you've redacted information from some of your staff members so they can't see everybody who is active or every client, they will only see the sticky notes that have been assigned to them or pertain to their direct clients as assigned. Unpaid sales are just what you would imagine. These are invoices that you have sent out with a clickable pay now button, but they have not been paid. This allows for you to reconcile those. If you do allow for people to create bookings without paying first, which we don't recommend, but it can be done, this is going to show you your accounts receivable for all of your bookings. Your notes, these can be required based on the service. It doesn't have to be every single service, and the note type can change as well. So for instance, Brad Pitt had an injection. The note was not created. We can see that here. If we pop into our history, you can see every history that he's had. And you'll notice that this session note has writing. That means that session notes have been added to this particular booking. However, if they need to be adjusted or changed along the way, you can also have pre-built templates. A lot of people used the COVID questionnaire on side of the note session and then made them mandatory to make sure they were hitting the stipulations in their associated state or area. So we'll pop back over to our dashboard. You can also add in as a super admin future bookings, everybody's actions, and all practitioners' bookings. But if you yourself are practicing and you would like to redact that down to only what is yours, you can redact that as well very quickly. And that's an overview of the dashboard. If we're looking into the bookings page, as you can see, nobody is currently scheduled online. The BookingTimes system is set up to work in 15-minute increments, simply because even if you're doing a 1-hour massage, it's very likely that you need time behind that massage to be able to clean the room. So a 1-hour booking is actually an hour and 15 or an hour and 30 to prep. So in order to allow for online bookings, it's usually our recommendation to set these up in the 15-minute increments, which can be done by managing the plus sign on the time. You have a plus sign on the time, a plus sign on the day, and a plus sign on the week. Now, if we're going to pick on Jessica here, you'll see that she does have availability that's open, and here's our 1 15-minute slot. This would be a tedious and time-consuming process to go through and do individually. You can select reuse these settings and make these selections down the line, or if you'd like to do a bulk upload of those, we can say for the next 4 hours, we would like her to be available. This would be an exception, not necessarily the rule. And if you wanted to make a day fully available, you could manage by the day, make day fully available, and you're done. Now, once you have somebody's week set up, you can actually come up here, manage your week, and copy that week forward as far forward as you would like. And also configure the system to copy the last week's schedule to the next week every week. So you could jump forward to March 20th of 2023 and copy another 16 weeks. But the more days you open and the more days you make available, you'll notice that this URL string actually changes as we click through. That means that you're creating and publishing new pages for Google to index very quickly without having to add blog content that nobody's likely to read. So from here, from the booking screen, in order to make a booking, you need to be in a time slot that's been made available. So if we click any of these available sections as an admin, we're going to see all of the services that are provided by this particular therapist. So if we say a 2-hour injection or even a basic massage, and we also want to do a hour injection, you can couple those bookings and do them both at the same time, as long as you have enough time available, which it will display here how much time is available in that time slot. What's going to happen now is your client options. So if somebody had called you and said they wanted that particular time slot, you would start with the time slot and then add the client. All of your clients can be searched by full name, partial phone number, partial email address. But if it's a new individual, Adam Jones, then they aren't actually in the system. We recommend that you get as much information as possible from the client, but mobile phone number and email are very important. Adam J at BookingTimes.com, because this is how they're going to get their reminders, as well as how they're going to log into the system to be able to modify or edit any of that information or submit surveys for your company. So we can go ahead and create this new client. Now, if you're doing mobile massages, you can actually set this up where you're gathering the information from the client for the address that you will be completing the service at. Not all services have those options, but it's ultimately your choice. You can add them to it or take them away. So if you have some services that are mobile and some that aren't, that's absolutely fine. From here, you would say pay now. You can add a tip if you would like, or you can run it as a credit card. So if it's a credit card, you'd simply type this in. You can add your tips in after the fact or when they're on site by tying it to the same invoice if you would like. If they're paying in cash, obviously it's the same scenario here. You would come in and you would save the payment. It's as easy as that. Your invoices will automatically send out to the clients. We have that deselected on the demo system, but you can have them automatically go out. You can also view those invoices and download them at any time, as can the client, which is incredibly helpful because they don't need to contact you to get a printout of their invoice. Now, a lot of people ask questions when it pertains to the massage therapy industry, if it's possible for them to create a combination of certain visits that they had for insurance purposes. So the option to that answer to that is yes. You can multi-select. If there was more than one business here, you can multi-select and print those options with a transaction filter of what was paid, or if you'd like to see only specific dates and print them from point A to point B, then you can absolutely do that and give them the information that they need without giving them too much information. You can also create checklists. This can be done for your staff members. If there's something that they need to do on every booking, then you can create a mandatory checklist for them to run through. This can be tied to a service or across every single booking if you would like for the individual client. All of your message communication will be displayed here. Obviously, this is a fake phone number, and you're going to see the error that this is not an actual working email address or phone number, but you can also view any of the emails that were sent. This messages filter is also available on the client side, which means if they tell you they never received their reminders, not only can you confirm that they did, but you also have hard proof that because it's available in their account, that they did in fact get their reminder. You can also run a report on all of your sent text messages and sent emails to see if they were indeed opened. So it really cuts down on what complaints people may have about reminders and really reduces any of the error there. Now you'll notice if we go back to the bookings page for Mr. Jones, that he has the whole time slot that has been marked out, and there is a buffer that was applied to the individual service. If you would like to set the room that they will be working in, you can go ahead and do that. Jessica now knows that she will be in room number 1 with Mr. Adam Jones for a basic massage and a 2-hour injection. You'll notice that Annette here, this says Tuong. That's actually another location that the individual is working in for that day. So while Annette is working, she's actually working in a different location. And if we toggle back to Tuong, you'll see that she's now available, but these individuals are working in Greenslopes. So people are able to see that from their side as well. It will say remote from the client side rather than unavailable completely. So if they're willing to travel to be with their favorite massage therapist, then they can absolutely do those things. The brains of the BookingTimes system is set up in the setup menu. Now, one thing that is very unique to BookingTimes is the onboarding process, which is tedious and time consuming for any software program, is taken on by the BookingTimes team, meaning we gather a single page document from you stating who works for you, what services you provide, the cost of those, and the time that it takes to complete them. And we build the system for you and then train you on your system. So while this can be overwhelming for people, especially once they get into the fact that each tab has multiple tabs, it's our primary function during the onboarding phase to make sure that all of this is set up for you and not something that you need to configure, reconfigure, or get a degree to be able to complete. So while you're more than welcome to view any of our demo systems, and we're happy to provide you access to this particular system or any system that you would like to see so you can play with it, please keep in mind that we do set these things up for you. Now, the reminders, which is everyone's primary point of concern, can we send them and can we customize them? Yes, and to the nth degree. Not only do we have boilerplate reminders, which can be turned on by simply selecting the bubble, but they can be customized by clicking here and making edits to them, which you can also preview. The same is true for your emails, which can be found. These are your general email reminders. You can find this information if you scroll down on the reminders page. but you can turn on new clients confirmation. Maybe you'd prefer to send them a welcome to the family email. And then on every booking confirmation that goes out after that, you'd like for them to have more of a standard basic warm feeling that they've already been a family member and you aren't reintroducing them to your company. So each of those are already set up. However, if you would like to send out marketing sequences, so for instance, you sell pregnancy massages and you would like to send out a series of emails for anybody that signs up for a pregnancy massage. You can set that up one time under the system. You can add as many steps as you would like to add to the sequence itself. So if you want to add step number 3 and you want to send it out 3 weeks later to keep your brand in the forefront of this individual's mind, you set those up and save them, and then we'll go ahead and tie that to the service. So under the pregnancy massage here, you'll see the marketing tab. And once they book the service, or you can do it as paid and attended, they're added to the pregnancy massage. Now you'll notice we have membership options as well. This can not only be once somebody has paid for a monthly subscription membership, they get particular vouchers and you can create as many of those memberships as you'd like, but you can also add VIP membership groups, which give them a different price point for all of your services. So once they've logged in with the account created under the membership, they're able to actually see different pricing that you can set up on your own accord and decide what type of breaks you want to give to your loyal customer base. That is your 30,000-foot overview of what BookingTimes does. We could actually spend hours discussing each and every one of these, but that'll give you something to go off of to create a series of questions that we can help you to customize your business given the plethora of tools that we have. So please feel free to reach out to our team. We're happy to walk you through each and every one of these steps and hopefully answer all of your questions and become a great solution for you. Have a great day.